Namaste everyone. Today we are going to start with next cell organelle, that is nucleus. Nucleus is known as the largest cell organelle. Nucleus, it is mainly present in eukaryotic cell. In prokaryotic cell, the nuclear region, it is known as nucleoid because it is not bounded by any nuclear membrane. But in eukaryotic cell, the nuclear material, it is bounded by nuclear membrane. It is double membrane bound cell organelle and it is known as nucleus. In some eukaryotic cell like RBC, mature red blood cell. I repeat once again, mature red blood cell, also known as erythrocytes, and in plants, sieve tubes, they do not have nucleus. In mature cells, in mature RBC, red blood cell or erythrocyte, and in plants, mature sieve tube cell, they do not have nucleus. So they are enucleated cell. E means absent, nucleated means nucleus. So these mature cell, RBC, and in plants, sieve tube cell, they do not have nucleus. Both of these are eukaryotic cell. Okay, now next is nucleus. As it is present in eukaryotic cell, so it is also known as eukaryotic cell organelle. Nucleus, it was first discovered and described by the scientist Robert Brown in the year 1831. Earlier, when the Anton von Leeuwenhoek, he observed the living cell for the first time, so he observed the nucleus for the first time. So in some books you will find who observed the nucleus for the first time. That was the scientist Anton von Leeuwenhoek. But who described the nucleus? Who gave the name nucleus? That is scientist Robert Brown. And he described in the year 1831. Now, in most of the cells, in eukaryotic cell, only one nucleus is present per cell. But do you remember cell which have more than one nucleus? Let me give you a hint. In the chapter Movement and Locomotion, you have studied about muscles. Can you think of the muscle which have more than one nucleus in a cell? Yes, that is striated muscle. Striated muscles or voluntary muscles, they have more than one nucleus in them. So that condition is known as nuclei. They have more than one nucleus in them. Such condition is known as the syncytium. There also I described this word syncytium. I told you about this word syncytium. So the condition where more than one nucleus is present in a cell, that is known as the syncytium. I hope it's clear to everyone. Now let's study in detail about the structure of nucleus. Nucleus, as it is a double membrane bound cell organelle, so two nuclear membranes are present around the nucleus, that are outer nuclear membrane and inner nuclear membrane. Outer and inner nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane, it is also known as nuclear envelope or karyotheca. Nuclear envelope or karyotheca. Nuclear membrane, it consists of two layers, that is the outer nuclear membrane and inner nuclear membrane. First of all, outer nuclear membrane. As the name indicates, outer nuclear membrane, it is present on the outermost side of the nucleus. And this outer nuclear membrane, it is in contact with the cytoplasm. Can you notice some difference between the outer nuclear membrane and inner nuclear membrane in the diagram? Yes, outer nuclear membrane, it has a bead-like structures present on it. These bead-like structures, these are known as ribosomes. So, ribosomes, they are studied on the outer nuclear membrane. Outer nuclear membrane, it is in continuous with rough endoplasmic reticulum. So, this outer nuclear membrane, it is continuous with the rough endoplasmic reticulum. So, outer nuclear membrane, it is in contact with the cytoplasm, it is studded with ribosome and it is continuous with the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Second is the inner nuclear membrane. Inner nuclear membrane, it appears smooth. Why it appears smooth? Because it lacks ribosomes on its surface. This inner nuclear membrane, it is in contact with the inner content of the nucleus known as the nucleoplasm. And what else you observe in the diagram? You can see small pores are present in the nuclear membrane. You can notice that nuclear membrane, it is discontinuous. Okay, so the nuclear membrane, it is discontinuous at the point where the nuclear membrane, it breaks. There a pore is present that is known as the nuclear pore. Before discussing nuclear pore, in between the nuclear membrane, outer nuclear membrane and inner nuclear membrane, the space is present inside it which is known as the perinuclear space. What it is known as? Perinuclear space. The space present between the outer nuclear membrane and inner nuclear membrane is known as the perinuclear space. Now, the point or the area or the place where the nuclear membrane is absent or where the nuclear membrane breaks, that point is known as the nuclear pore. What it is known as? It is known as the nuclear pore, and nuclear pore, it provides the entry and exit. It provides the point for the entry and exit of the RNA and proteins. So, there is bidirectional movement of RNA and proteins in the nucleus and cytoplasm. The RNA and protein, they can enter into the nucleus from the cytoplasm, and from the nucleus into the cytoplasm, RNA and proteins can move. Basically, the RNA, it is synthesized inside the nucleus. So, it moves outside through the nuclear pore, and the RNA, it is involved in the synthesis of protein. And this protein, it moves inside the nucleus through nuclear pore. I hope nuclear pore is clear to everyone. Now, the next is nucleoplasm. Like the cell, it contains cytoplasm. Similarly, the inner content of the nucleus, it is known as nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm, it is also known as karyolymph. What it is known as? It is also known as karyolymph. Nucleoplasm, it contains different types of enzyme, metal ions, RNA, DNA and different types of proteins. Proteins like histone and non-histone, they are present in the nucleoplasm. In the diagram, you can see a round structure is present in the nucleus. This round structure present in the nucleus is known as the nucleolus. What it is known as? It is known as the nucleolus. Nucleolus, it is amembranous structure. Amembranous means this nucleolus, it is not surrounded by any membrane. Nucleolus, it is not surrounded by any membrane. So, it is amembranous structure. Its content, it lies freely into the nucleoplasm. This nucleolus, it is synthesized from the special region present on the chromosome known as the secondary constriction. In some chromosome, when we will do chromosome, there you will understand about the secondary constriction. In some chromosomes, secondary constrictions are present, and these secondary constrictions, they contain a region known as NOR. What do you mean by NOR? NOR stand for nucleolus organizing region. What it is known as? Nucleolus organizing region. And these nucleolus organizing region, NOR, they give rise to the nucleolus. And what is the function of nucleolus in the cell? When we have done ribosomes, I told you that ribosomes, they are synthesized by the nucleolus. Yes, the nucleolus, they help in the synthesis of the subunit of the ribosomes. How? Nucleolus, they give rise to ribosomal RNA. They give rise to ribosomal RNA. I have written here also, it is a site for ribosomal RNA synthesis. Yes, nucleolus, it forms the ribosomal RNA and proteins which are synthesized in the cytoplasm. They move from the cytoplasm into the nucleus, and after the synthesis of rRNA by the nucleolus, these rRNA, they combine with protein and they form the subunit of the ribosome. All of you know, in eukaryotic cell, ATS ribosome is present, and this ATS ribosome, it has two subunits, 60S and 40S, and each subunit, it is made up of ribosomal RNA and proteins. This ribosomal RNA, it is synthesized by the nucleolus. Proteins enter from the cytoplasm into the nucleus. Both of them combine and they give rise to the subunits of the ribosome. And one more thing, all of you know that the ribosomes, it remain in separate form. Its subunits remain separate. Never the complete ribosome in ATS, it is not present in the cytoplasm. Always the subunit of the ribosome, 60S and 40S, you will find in the cytoplasm. When these subunits, they combine to form ATS ribosome only at the time of protein synthesis. I hope it's clear to everyone. So let's revise nucleolus once again. Nucleolus, it is the site for the synthesis of ribosomal RNA, and nucleolus, it is a membranous structure present in the nucleus, and this nucleolus, it is formed by the NOR region which are present on the some chromosomes which have secondary constriction. Next is chromatin. When we see the nucleus with the help of electron microscope during interphase stage, when we see the nucleus with the help of electron microscope during interphase stage, please keep this thing in mind. At interphase stage, we see entangled thread-like structures. In the diagram you can see, I have drawn the diagram of the nucleus during the interphase stage. So at this time, the nucleus, it contains entangled thread-like structure. You can see these are entangled thread-like structures. These entangled thread-like structures are known as chromatin. What they are known as? Chromatin. The word chromatin, it is derived from the Greek word chroma. Okay, so the word chromatin, it is derived from the Greek word chroma, and this word chroma, it means colored body. When the scientists, they stained the cell, what they found that even when you make onion peel slide. Okay, then you stain the cell. So when you stain the onion peel, what you will found that the small boxes are present. These are the cell. Now these cells, they have a very light stain material. Okay, and a dark stain structure is present in the cell. All of you have seen the nucleus. Okay, so this dark stain structure, this is known as the nucleus. And why nucleus? It is dark stain because the chromatin fibers or chromatin threads which are present in the nucleus, they take stain more as compared to the other cell organelle, due to which the nucleus, it appear darker in color than any other cell organelle. So that's why the chromatin, it is derived from the word chroma, which means colored body. Okay, so the entangled thread-like structures present in the nucleus are known as chromatin, which are present in the interphase stage of the cell. And what is the interphase stage of the cell? When the cell is not dividing. It means in the non-dividing cell. In the non-dividing cell, you will find chromatin. Okay. So chromatin, it is visible in the non-dividing cell and in the interphase stage. At this stage, the cell is said to be in the interphase stage. Okay. Now, when the cell, it has to divide. When the cell, it has to divide. So, at that time, the cell, it enter into a stage which is known as the cell cycle. So, the cell will enter into the cell cycle, and the cell cycle, they are further of two types. That is, you have studied in your class 9 in chapter cell, mitosis and meiosis. So, in either of the cell cycle, the cell can enter. So, when the cell, it enter into the cell cycle, at that time, this chromatin thread, they condenses to form a rod-like structure known as chromosome. All of you have heard about this word chromosome. So, when the cell, it has to divide, these chromatin fiber, they change into a rod-like structure, rod-shaped structure known as chromosome. Okay, chromatin, first of all, let me tell you about chromatin. Chromatin and chromosome both are the same. Chromatin, it consists of DNA and proteins. And proteins are of two types, histone and non-histone proteins. I hope it's clear to everyone. So, chromatin are entangled thread-like structure present in the nucleus when the cell is not dividing or when the cell is in interphase stage. When cell, it has to divide, or when cell, it enter into the cell cycle, at that time, these chromatin fiber, they condense to form chromosome. Now, let's discuss about the structure of chromosome. Structure of chromosome. Chromosomes, they are formed by condensation of chromatin fiber. As I told you earlier, chromatin fiber, they are present in non-dividing cell during interphase stage. And when cell has to divide, when cell, it enters the cell cycle, these chromatin fibers, they condense to form a rod-shaped structure known as chromosome. Now let's discuss about the structure of chromosome. Chromosome, it consists of two halves. Chromosome, it consists of two halves which are known as the chromatid. So these halves are known as chromatids, and these two chromatids, they join with each other at a point which is known as centromere. So the chromatids, they join with each other at the point known as centromere. Centromere, it is also known as primary constriction. it is known as? It is also known as primary constriction. So when two chromatids, they combine with each other, they form a structure known as chromosome. So simply if we talk about chromosome, it consists of two halves known as chromatids, and these chromatids, they join with each other at a point known as centromere or primary constriction. If we see with the help of electron microscope in detail, this centromere or primary constriction, it consists of a structure on it known as kinetochore. And this kinetochore, what is its function? This kinetochore, it provides a place for the attachment of spindle fiber during the cell division. When chromosomes, they have to separate, we will study in this in detail. So when chromosomes, they separate during the division, so how they separate? From which point they separate? They separate from the centromere. And centromere, they contain a point known as the kinetochore, and the spindle fibers, they attach to the chromosome at kinetochore. I hope it's clear to everyone. Now, in some chromosome, one more constriction is present at the terminal position, that is known as the, like this. Only in some chromosome, not in all chromosome, they consist of secondary constriction. Some chromosome, they consist of secondary constriction. These chromosomes are known as the satellite chromosome or SAT chromosomes. They are also known as the SAT chromosomes. I hope it's clear to everyone. And during the formation of nucleolus, I was telling you about the chromosomes having the secondary constriction, and this secondary constriction, this region, it have the NOR region known as the nucleolus organizing region, which is responsible for the formation of nucleolus. Okay, so such chromosomes which have secondary constriction present on them are known as the satellite chromosome or SAT chromosome. Next is types of chromosome. On the basis of position of centromere. What is centromere? We have already discussed. Centromere is a point which holds the two chromatids together. So, on the basis of position of centromere, chromosome, they are differentiated, or they are of four types. You can see in the diagram, four different types of chromosomes are there. That is metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric and telocentric. Now, can you notice any difference in the four chromosomes I have drawn? Yes, that is in the position of the centromere. In the meta means metacentric. So, centric means center. In the metacentric chromosome, the centromere, it lies in the center of the chromosome. So, in metacentric chromosome, centromere, it lies at the center, so that the arms of the chromatid, they are equal in size. So, what are the characteristics of the metacentric chromosome? In metacentric chromosome, the centromere, it lies in the center. Second, the arms, they are equal in size. Now, the second is submetacentric chromosome. In submetacentric chromosome, the centromere, it shifts somewhat upward from the center. From the center point, the centromere, it shifts somewhat upward, so that the arms of the chromosome, they become unequal in size. So, the chromosome, it has slightly short arm and one or two long arm. Next is the acrocentric chromosome. In acrocentric chromosome, you can see there is a great difference in the size of the arm. So they have a very short arm and longer arm. Shorter and longer arm. And the centromere, it shifts more from the central position, making the short arm and the longer arm. Now the fourth is the telocentric chromosome. In the telocentric chromosome, the centromere, it lies at the terminal position. At the terminal position, and there is no concept of short and long arm. Okay, so this was all about the type of chromosome. Let's revise once again. Metacentric chromosome, in which the centromere, it lies at the center. Second is the submetacentric chromosome, in which the centromere slightly shift from the central position. And in acrocentric chromosome, there is a great deviation from the central position. The centromere, it shifts from the central position, making the very short arm and longer arm. And in telocentric chromosome, there is no concept of short and long arm. Why? Because the centromere, it is present at the terminal position. With this, types of chromosome is complete. Now let's revise once again the structure of nucleus. Nucleus, it is a double membrane bound cell organelle. It consists of outer membrane known as the nuclear membrane, nuclear envelope or karyotheca. Then it consists of two membrane, outer and inner membrane. Outer membrane studded with ribosome, and inner membrane, it is smooth. Outer membrane, it is in contact with the cytoplasm, whereas inner membrane, it is in contact with the nuclear sac. Okay, nuclear sac, it is also known as the nucleoplasm. Now, in the nucleoplasm, different type of material is present like DNA, RNA, proteins, metal ions. Okay, now the next is the nucleolus. Nucleolus, it is a membranous structure present in the nucleus, and it is responsible for the synthesis of ribosomal RNA and ribosomal subunits. Next is the chromatin fibers. Entangled thread-like structures are present in the nucleus during the interphase stage that are known as the chromatin fibers. When the cell, it has to divide, these chromatin fibers, they condense to form a rod-like structure known as chromosome. Chromosome, it consists of primary constriction or centromere, and this centromere, it holds the two sister chromatids or two chromatids together. Centromere, it consists of a structure, disc-shaped structure known as the kinetochore, and this kinetochore, it is responsible for the binding of the spindle fibers. Next is, on the basis of position of centromere, chromosomes are of four types. That is metacentric, in which centromere is present in the central position and it has equal arms. Second is the submetacentric, in which the centromere, it is slightly displaced from the central position and it have short arm and long arm. Next is acrocentric chromosome, which have very short arm and longer arm. Centromere is more displaced from the central position. Last is the telocentric chromosome, in which the centromere, it is present at the terminal position and there is no short arm and long arm differentiation. With this, chapter cell is complete. That's all for today. Thank you everyone.